Hello, welcome to The Explainer. I'm honestly so excited you and I are teaming up today because we're diving into something literally wild in the German language. Did you know German sentences are built like mystery novels? We kick the action verb to the end to build suspense. Today, we master the verb bracket. Okay, section 1, the vibe check. To pass this level, you and I are going to need some action verbs. Let's kick off this minute with our first word of the minute, Freizeit. Free time. You know, when you're making small talk, people are absolutely gonna ask what you do with it. So, to talk about your hobbies, you need action verbs. Words like tanzen, to dance, kochen, to cook, malen, to paint, and schwimmen, to swim. Now, to really show off that main character energy, we pair these verbs with frequency words, right? Like immer, always, oft, often, manchmal, sometimes, and nie, never. So put them together and you get something like, Ich surfe oft im Internet, aber ich male nie. I often surf the internet, but I never paint. So here's the rule summary. Combine action verbs with frequency words to describe your free time. Moving right along to section 2, the shapeshifter verbs. Let's keep this momentum going, because it's time to face our first mini-boss. Our second word of the minute is Quatsch. Nonsense. I'm using this because, honestly, forgetting these next vowel changes is just total nonsense. Okay, so some German verbs are literally shapeshifters. They actually change their core vowels, but, and this is a big but, only when you use the do or the er-sie forms. For instance, the verb lesen becomes du liest, meaning you read. See how the e shifts to an e? Meanwhile, fahren becomes fährt, meaning he drives, where that a shifts over to an a. You just gotta have to trust the process here. Rule summary. Shapeshifter verbs change their core vowels only for the do and er-sie forms. All right, section 3. Boss fight, modal können. Are you ready for this? It's part 1 of our ultimate boss fight with a highly irregular modal verb. So, here is your third word of the minute to unlock your true power. Können, can, or to be able to. What's really interesting here is just how dramatic the irregularity of können is. The stem completely changes from an to an a in the singular forms, giving us ich kann, I can. And notice how there is absolutely no t ending for the he, she, or it form either, just completely gone. But in the plural form, wir können, we can, we actually keep the original vowel. Makes sense, right? Rule summary, the modal verb können is highly irregular and completely drops the typical endings in its singular forms. Section 4. Unlock the verb bracket. You've mastered the verb, so now it's time for literally the biggest plot twist in the German language. Pay super close attention to our fourth word of the minute, die Satzklammer, the verb bracket. This is the absolute most crucial grammar point we're tackling today. This setup brilliantly illustrates the physical movement happening inside the sentence. Imagine the modal verb and the action verb forming this giant bracket, just hugging the rest of your words. So in the sentence, ich kann Tennis spielen, meaning I can play tennis, the modal verb can takes position 2, always. But what happens to our action verb, spielen? Boom! It gets kicked all the way to the very end of the sentence and it just stays in its original infinitive form. So cool, right? Rule summary. The modal verb takes position 2 and kicks the action verb in its infinitive form to the absolute end of the sentence. On to section 5, red and green flags. Let's shift the vibe to a fun, social application of these grammar skills we just unlocked. Our fifth word of the minute is bitten. Favors. Because, what if someone asks you to play soccer with them on Saturday? Well, we need to know how to respond politely. If you're down and want to say yes, wave that green flag and say klar, meaning sure. But if it's a red flag and you have to say no, use leider nicht, meaning unfortunately not. Oh, and pro tip, always add es tut mir leid, which means I am sorry, just to keep being super polite. Rule summary, use klar for a positive green flag and leider nicht accompanied by an apology for a polite red flag. Finally, section 6, the pronunciation secret. Okay, come close. I want to share a pro-level speaking secret with you that'll make you sound exactly like a native speaker. Our final word of the minute is Satzaccent, sentence stress. This is literally how we spill the tea on German pronunciation. You definitely don't want to speak like a robot, right? By punching or stressing different words, you completely shift the feeling of what you're saying. Listen to this. Ich kann gut Schach spielen. I can play chess well. Here, we're totally focusing on the skill level. But if you say, ich kann Schach spielen, I can play chess, we're focusing on the game itself, like meaning chess, not poker. Make sense? Rule summary. Punching different words with sentence stress completely changes the emotional meaning of your sentence. Okay, pop quiz time. Let's see if you're taking a W or an L today. Can you translate these two sentences? Number 1, I can cook very well. And number 2, she can take really great photos. Hint for that second one. Remember, the action verb has got to go to the very end. Go ahead and drop your translated sentences in the comments below, and I'll definitely pin the correct answers. You and I covered so much ground today, from those crazy shapeshifters to the epic verb bracket. But hey, if German verbs can physically bracket a sentence, what other linguistic gymnastics are waiting to trip you up in your next conversation? Smash that like button, subscribe for daily German insights, and let's find out together next time. Mach's gut. Tschüss.